Good morning. Good morning. Let me hit live in all the places. And as I do so, make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here. All right. Give me just a second. Whoop. Let's mute that. All right. There we go. And give me just a second while I pull this up on my phone. Goodness gracious. Where do I get to it? There we are. And as I do so, all right. Now, I think I've got everything set. Let me just look real quick. All right. So, good morning. Good morning. This morning when I got up, it was 22 degrees. And it's like, oh. Let me get over to this window. And as you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know you're here as I take a sip of my coffee. And I want to share real quick. You know how it's funny, and you may experience this too. There's times that there's a task that we're wanting to complete. And for whatever reason, it just feels like we can't get to it. And it feels like it's something that's going to be very time consuming, and you don't think you've got enough time. And so you just kind of avoid it a little bit. And so I had a task that I was doing that with. But the interesting thing was when I finally sat down with it, because I just had so many things on my plate, and it was like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. And when I finally sat down with it, it was so much fun that all of a sudden time had it's like it stopped kind of, because I didn't even realize how much time I had spent playing with it and working with it. And then I was really excited to have completed it. So it's interesting that we can avoid something and then enjoy the hell out of it when we get started. I just wanted to share that. I had that experience yesterday, and part of it was because I was starting a little bit later. And so I thought, oh, should I wait till tomorrow because it's late? How much time am I going to, and all that. And then when I started, time didn't matter. Interesting, right? All right. Well, that has absolutely zero to do with today's affirmation and journal prompt, I will tell you. But where this affirmation and journal prompt came from is, you know how sometimes we can catch ourselves wanting to be rescued. We can catch ourselves wishing that somebody would just give us the magic pill, the magic information, and solve all of our problems. Sometimes we want somebody to step in and solve all of our problems. Sometimes what we're doing is we're looking for everything outside of ourselves, right? And so as I was thinking about that this morning, and I was thinking about in romantic relationships, sometimes we're looking for that romantic partner to be the savior, whether it's a financial thing or whether it's just we want them to be there and support us, and so we can feel so much better. And we're looking for the magic, right? And so I got you, because let me share the affirmation here. So if you've been looking for the one in your life that is going to be the person that helps you to be happier, that helps you to be more prosperous, that supports you in your business and does all these things to just make life so much better, then here you go. I am the one you've been waiting for. I am my own magic, my own hero, and have everything I need within me. What do you think? So your affirmation is you are the one you've been waiting for. The one to make everything better, to make life more fun, to be more enjoyable, to inspire you to work for your business. You are the one. You create your own magic. You're your own hero, and you have everything you need inside of you right now. Now, we've talked about similar affirmations and journal prompts and everything for quite a long time because it bears being repeated that the magic is in. Love it. Great reminder. Beautiful, Heidi. Beautiful. So this just felt good to me because I'm one of those people that I start looking for rescuing somewhere, right? I haven't been in a romantic relationship in a while because I've chosen not to, because it felt like it was like almost like a imposition. It was somebody that was taking time away from the things I wanted to do. I've been single for quite a long time now, and it sometimes feels like I just like doing my thing, whatever it is, and I don't want anybody messing that up, right? But then I can still fall prey to this. I want a relationship with someone who is also an entrepreneur so that we can inspire each other and we can do these things together, and I will fall into that place. But in actuality, I am who I'm waiting for. And until I become the person that I'm looking for out there, I'm not going to find that person out there anyway, right? It's going to be a version of who I am and not who I aspire to be. I don't know. Does that make any sense? But anyway, I am the one I've been waiting for. And I have I'll see if I can find it. I've got a little meme or something that I've saved over the years, and it is a little bit that alludes to this. It just popped in my head. And I'll see if I can find it and I'll stick it in the group. But it was like years ago when I saw this, and I've just saved it into my photos. And every now and then I'll come across it. And so I will share it. You can do the same. Put it as your screensaver on your phone, whatever you want to do. But remember, anything that comes after the words I am are ultra powerful. Ultra powerful. We're claiming it as true, right? And this one has two I am statements. I am the one I've been waiting for. I am my own magic. I am my own hero, and I have everything I need within me. It's just being open to letting it shine, letting it out. Most of the time, we're keeping it caged like a little bird in the corner. And we might feed it every now and then, but we don't ever let it out to fly. We clip its wings, we put it over there. Because if we open the cage, we don't want it to get out, right? And we're doing that with ourselves. Let's see if I can see this over here. This is perfect. It's interesting. I have a new fella that thinks I am the bee's knees and wants to be my everything. I feel in some ways I have everything I need within and am still working, searching towards the best version of me, despite how wonderful others think I am. Beautiful, Lynn. Beautiful. Oh, I like that he thinks yours the bee's knees because you are. The thing is that for in relationships and stuff, we want to make sure we're getting people that think they're their own bee's knees as well. Not that we want them being egotistical, but we want them to be able to self-soothe, to be there for themselves. And then you're just the icing on the cake. They're not looking for a rescuer either. And I think sometimes, like the last time I was dating someone, and it's been a little bit ago, um, he was looking for me to be his savior, his rescuer, not financially, but emotionally. And he wanted all of my attention. And it started making me start to cringe and step back because it's like, man, I've got to have my own space because I love who I am, faults and all. I got plenty of them, right? But I love me. I love my own company. I can be alone and be perfectly fine. And I need some of that alone time, right? We all do, unless we're trying to, if we don't need some quiet time within, then we're trying to fill a void with other people and other things. So just, that's one of the things too, right? If we're constantly busy, and that used to be me. There was not a time that I sat down and I was alone and in my own thoughts. No, because I avoided all of that like the plague without even knowing that's what I was doing. I was staying so ultra busy that I never had time to do inner reflection, never had time to grow within myself. And it's really, really important for us to have that. That's how we create our own magic, become our own hero, and notice and see the magic that we have within us, right? So that's beautiful. You'll have to keep me informed, Lynn, on how this is going. I love it. I love it. And I keep saying there may be a time that I start dating again. I have no idea. It's like every now and then I'll meet somebody and not a I'll have a friend that has this new romantic partner and I think, "Oh, that's pretty cool the way their relationship is." And I'll say, "Does he have a brother?" But that's as far as I go. I don't search out. I don't do any of that because it's like that's I've got so much more I want to do within myself that it feels like that person would take me away from it, if that makes any sense. And of course, I will say my sister has reminded me many, many times. She said, you only feel that way because the people in your life previously, especially in the last few years, have been more of a person that took me away from me. And she said, if you meet the right person, it's just going to enhance who you are and you're just going to enjoy it, but you'll be okay to have the time apart. And so who knows? Who knows, right? All right. So I am going to go ahead and let me see. Let me take this off so we'll make sure it'll all show up together. Let's see if it does. Yay! I'm getting good at this. All right, now I'm going to share the journal prompt for today. As I claim my own heroship, how amazing does that feel? When you are aware that you're your own hero, you have this magic within you, you have all the things within that you need. How amazing does that feel? And then take some time to list all the incredible emotions and changes that you will experience as you encompass this space of being your own hero, being the one for yourself. And write down how you can make that your new normal. Let's see, what does it say? That has been me for the last couple of years. So busy that I'm overwhelmed with everything. I still want that inner peace. I'm not sure this new guy can give me that. No, this new guy cannot give you that. Only you can give you that. All you have to do with him is have a boundary that says, I am working on me, you work on you, and we'll come together and help each other. All right. So just set the stage and create that boundary right up front. If he makes any of those statements that they do on the movies all the time about how you complete me, you make me happy, you this, you that, it makes you totally responsible for their well-being and their happiness. And who the hell can live up to that? Nobody. And I don't expect anybody to make me happy and fulfill all my needs, right? So in relationships, especially in the beginning, it's beautiful to go ahead and set those boundaries so that you can always say, if you're not happy, that's not anything to do with me. That has to do with you. So let's talk about how we can help each other do this together. I'm not a relationship expert by any means. Don't even think that. Wendy McDowell in the group is the relationship nerd. And so if you need any real inspiration on how to communicate better with a partner, definitely search her out in the group. Wendy McDowell, the relationship nerd. And there's some other people in there too that are relationship experts. But she's the one that I've talked to the most and has been around the longest. I guess that's why I know her specifically. And she's been live in the group a few times. But the thing is that most of the time we're so happy in the first stages of a relationship because we're putting on our best foot, forward, and we're not being our authentic self. We haven't set the boundaries. And then later, when we want to set the boundaries, we've already set the pace for the way things are. And so it's really good in the beginning to go ahead and make sure that that language that you're using is claiming your own heroship, right? And claiming you as the one. They're just it's like you're the cake, you're the icing. They're just the little sprinkles. And the sprinkles make it all good, right? But can you live without the sprinkles? Hell yeah, you can live without the sprinkles. Do you want to? Maybe not. So the thing is that it's changing the way we look at it. I don't know if that's helpful or not. All right, so let's go back to the affirmation for today. And remember, put this on your index card, your screensaver on your phone, your sticky notes. Put it on a piece of paper and stick it to the fridge. Put it on your mirror with a chalk marker. Put it somewhere that today, every time you pass by it, it's like, whew. Or every time you pick up your phone, oh my gosh, I am the one I've been waiting for. Right? So make sure that you're utilizing this for your best self, right? So I am the one I've been waiting for. You are the one you've been waiting for. You're your own magic, your own hero, and you have everything you need inside of you. Everything you need is within you. And, I've talked a little bit about the program that Sue Anderson and I have together, the Mining Your Acres of Diamonds. And that's the premise of that as well, because in business, a lot of times people are constantly looking for the magic outside, and they're looking for the next new thing that's going to save them in their business, or suddenly it's going to give them this epiphany of exactly what they need to do to make it work, right? But we base this program, or we don't base it, but it just really works well with what we were wanting to teach, and it was just like so good. It's it's in alignment with, I guess, the book Acres of Diamonds, where if you have not read it, and that's one of the things that anybody that gets in that program is actually gets the digital version of that book from us with bots and all kinds of things in there to help you. But the premise of the book is that he tells stories of people that were out looking for gold. They sold all their property and went somewhere else looking for gold. And then the people that bought their property had the biggest gold strike ever in history, right? And so the people that sold it for almost nothing never found the gold, or they found little piddly pits, right? But in their own backyard, everything was there, but they were searching somewhere else. And there's one of the people was they found a piece of a rock or something, and they had it on their mantle. They didn't even know what they had, and somebody came over and said, "Where'd you find that diamond?" Right? And that was someone who had bought a piece of property for almost nothing because the person that owned this property, went somewhere else looking for diamonds. And it was one of the biggest diamond mines in history. But the person that owned it sold it for nothing because, for one thing, they didn't really know what diamonds would look like in their natural state. And they didn't bother to find out. But just think about your life and how you might be looking for the magic somewhere else too, like in relationship-wise, everything. But you've got it right there. It's within you. You just got to be open to expressing it, to letting that light shine. Let me get to the journal prompt. I'm getting so distracted. I'm so excited. So our journal prompt. And remember, I say this all the time, but we've got a lot of new people in the group, so it bears repeating. And I'm going to repeat it every day anyway. It doesn't matter. The thing is that you have a notebook or a journal that you use every day for these affirmations or journal prompts. And I suggest you use it just for these, but hey, you be you do. If you want to add some others in there, that's fine. The thing is that I want you to put the date, the affirmation, in the journal prompt because they are partners. They go together. And then as you get it all written down, and then you sit and you take some time in silence. 10 minutes is really good, or more, but some people can't do 10. That's okay. Do 5, but try to go at least for 10. And when I say silence, I mean no headphones, no anything. Don't be listening to anything or looking at anything. Just sit in total silence. Focus on your breath, the breathing in, the breathing out. And you're going to notice, especially if you haven't been doing this for a very, very long time, that your mind's just going to start. All of a sudden, you're going to realize you're not focusing on your breath anymore. You're thinking about what you're going to do for dinner. Whatever it is, right? And as soon as that happens, you come back to your breath and you start focusing on your breath. And then if that still doesn't seem to help, then what I like to do is I will focus on the sounds that I hear in the room and I will label them. So it may be, I hear the ceiling fan. I hear somebody cutting their grass outside, not necessarily today, of course, because it's so cold. But if I can hear a blower, if I can hear the sound coming from my screen, maybe I can hear somebody walking. Maybe for me, I have this copper bowl that has these little chimes in it that go around in this fountain. And then when they hit the little bells, it's like ding, ding. It's so soothing to me. Anyway, I can hear that most of the time wherever I am in the house. And so it's like you label things. And the reason you do that is because you can't think 2 thoughts at the same time. So as you start labeling things, then it brings you back into the present, into the now. And then when you recognize that you're there, then you start focusing on your breath. when your timer goes off after 10 minutes, even though you have not been saying in your mind what this affirmation and journal prompt are, your subconscious knows because you wrote it down. And then when you come out of that stillness, that silence, that quiet time for you, then you just brain dump everything that comes up. And that's where the magic really, really starts occurring, because your God voice, your intuition, your inner guidance, your subconscious mind are going to be feeding you so much amazing information. So don't judge anything. Whatever it is, write it down. It doesn't matter if it doesn't even sound like it belongs in this process. It doesn't matter if it sounds like the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard. If it sounds like the hardest thing you could ever do, it doesn't matter. Just don't judge. Just write it. Let it out, right? And then you go back and you look at it. And the beauty of doing all of this and putting the date and all this information in your journal or your notebook is that in no time, it's going to be changing you. Because remember, 1% change every day creates exponential growth. It's all changing you all the time. The only constant in life is change. You're either changing in the way that you want to change, or you're reverting back to changes from your past. You're sliding backwards because you cannot stay exactly where you are right now. So make a decision that you want to change on purpose. You want to change and grow and become exactly who you want to be. And this is how you start. This is the direction that you go in, right? And I talk all the time about it's like our life is a symphony, and everything that goes on in our life, the things that we think, the things that people say, all of these things create musical notes. And we can pick those notes to create the most magnificent symphony, or we can pull notes that aren't so good for us, and it makes it sound like a little childhood orchestra that nobody knows how to play the instruments, right? And I, for one, choose to make a beautiful symphony, because a 1% change every single day creates exceptional growth. The thing is, you don't see it because a 1% is so imperceptible in the moment that right now we are different than we were just 5 seconds ago. We've got different thoughts. It's almost like in the Matrix, the red pill, the blue pill, we're really, really diving into a whole new area of life, a new way of thinking, a new idea. Being our own hero, we are the one. So as you change every single day, you don't even notice it anymore. And that's why it's so important to have all of this information in your notebook and in your journal, so that when you come back and you look, let's say 90 days from now, you look back, you're going to see that there were some things that you wrote down that you probably in some ways thought, well, that's impossible. But what if in 90 days, 6 months, a year, those things are who you are? You don't even remember. Because one of the ways that I like to really share how important this process is when I became a health coach, that's how I started this amazing journey that I'm on as a health coach, because I had struggled with my weight my entire life, yo-yo dieting, losing weight, feeling good, and then start going back to the old patterns and gaining even more over and over and over again. And I was so sick of it that I thought I have either got to make peace with being fat and just let it be, just get as big as I wanted to get, or I had to do something about it. But I didn't want to do the thing that I had been doing, which was go on this strict diet, go on this crazy regimen of exercise and doing all these things, losing the weight, and then gaining it back. I didn't want to do that anymore. So I thought, how can I make this work? What do I need to learn? What do I need to do to have a different life? I just wanted to be naturally healthy, naturally thinner. I didn't want to have to think about it. I didn't want to count points and calories and all these things, right? I had done that many, many times, succeeded and failed at the same time. The thing is that then as I started searching, I came across health coaching. And I thought, well, that's good. Maybe I need somebody, but I don't want somebody to just give me another diet. So I kept looking and I finally came across this health coaching school that was all about habit change. And I thought, ooh, that's what I need. I just need to change my habits. So I almost hired a coach. And then I thought, wait a minute, maybe I need something more. So I know me, sometimes what happened in the past was if I didn't put enough money in it or spend enough time on it, I would give up. Sometimes I would give up right before I reached my goal, but I would always stop because it never was something that I could do forever without it being a constant battle. And I, for one, did not want to live a constant battle. So I decided I would become a health coach. If I put that much money into the course and I was going to spend a year on it, I was going to make some changes. And if only person I ever changed was me, it was going to be money well worth it. Money well spent. But as I was going through that, we had to do practice clients. We had to do different things. So I began that journey. But the reason I'm telling you this is because when I first started, I was quite overweight, morbidly obese. And the thing is, I'm not exactly the shape and the size that I thought I would be now. But obviously right now, this is where my body wants to be, and I'm okay with that. And over time, it'll change. Fine. At least it's not going up, right? The thing is that when I look back at those pictures of me, when I started the health coaching, the first time I did that, I didn't even recognize myself. And it was like, oh my gosh. And and I'll share really quick another little story right before I decided that I had to make peace with this or just make a change, right? And the way that happened was I had gone over to my sister's house because my daughter was going to get on the bus at her house, and my great niece was going to get on the bus there because they were going to the same school, and we wanted the first day of school for them to do this together, right? So my sister's taking pictures because it's my great niece getting on the bus for the first time, and we're so excited. And later, my sister shows me these pictures, and I said, "Who is that?" She said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Who is that?" And she said, "Vicki, are you being silly now? What's going on?" And I said, "No, who is that?" She said, "Vicki, that's you." And it was like me from not in the profile, but almost. It was like from the back and just a little bit of my face, but not much. I was facing toward the bus, right? And she said, "That's you." And I said, "That can't be me." She said, "It is. Look, those are your clothes." And I said, "Oh my gosh." And she said, "It's just the way you're standing." And I said, "If I can stand any way and look like that, I've got a problem." And that's the day I decided to start really doing something about it. And so I went searching for the coaching information, right? And then I decided when I first started, I could not walk. I would go over to her house and I could not walk from one mailbox to the other without leaning forward and trying to catch my breath. And I went because I really wanted to do it this time. I was so tired of being in that space of not doing it. So I thought, I'm going to really, really challenge myself this time. And so I decided that one of the things that would be helpful as I was starting this coaching journey was just to do a walk, right? Well, I had no idea what I was signing up for, but I signed up for a half marathon. Had no idea how far that was. And when I went to the meeting for this half marathon was going to be on Thanksgiving Day. And I'm sitting there, I don't know anybody, and I'm the heaviest one in the crowd, of course. And when they get up and they're talking about those that are here for the half marathon, that's 13 point, I think it was 13.2, 13.3, doesn't really matter. It sounded like a million miles. When she said it, I was drinking something and I almost spit it out because I thought, holy shit, I can't even walk to the mailbox. How in the world am I going to do this? But I thought, and it was for charity. It was raising money for the Heart Association, I think it was. And quite a few years before that, my children's father had passed away from a heart attack. So it was important to me. So was the getting fit, right? So I told my sister, I said, I signed up for this thing. I said, I had no idea how far it was. So I'm going to do this. And it was a few months out, right? So I had time for training, but I said, and it may get to the point where at the end of the race, they've got these lanterns out and they're saying, we've still got one out, we'll find her, but I would finish that race. And so I started training and doing all the things to do this, right? And the thing is that each time I made one step forward, I celebrated because it was such a milestone. So as you're doing things, being your own hero, being the one for yourself, every single time that you notice something that you've done, celebrate it. And then as you're doing things, make sure you're making a note of it. Because I wish I had kept a running log of all the things that I was doing as I was training for this half marathon, because I had to train on my own because I was a full-time hairstylist, and all of their trainings that they did together as a group were on Saturday mornings. I was always busy on Saturday mornings, because this was months and months of training, right? So I was doing all my training on my own. And I didn't know how I was supposed to do that. So I just did what I thought was good. So it started where I could go to the second mailbox and then the third mailbox. And in just a few months, I was walking for miles a day. I started doing 4 miles every day. And then what I would do was, their big training was on Saturdays, so I would do mine on Sundays. I would walk on Sundays. And in the beginning, it was just a mile. By the time I was getting closer to the marathon, I was doing 13 miles on Sundays. And the very first time I did that, when I got home, my daughter was in the living room watching TV, and I walked in and I had a stoop that it was only like this much, right? That you stepped up to get to the front door. And I could barely lift my legs to get up there. I walked in the house and my daughter said, "Ooh, you don't look good." And I just, and I went in my room. I was going to change clothes and get in the shower, but I couldn't even do it. I just fell down on the bed and slept. And then by time we got to doing the training, not the training, but we had to do a check-in, periodically. And as we got to that final check-in to see if you were on par with the training, especially me, since I was doing the training on my own. And when I got there, they asked me, how's your training going? And I said, well, it's going good. I said, I'm doing 4 miles every day. And then on Sundays, I'm doing 13. And they stopped and they looked at me and they said, what? How long have you been doing that? I said, oh, for a few months now. And it was like, they said, that's not what we teach. That's way beyond what we require or expect for you to do as you're training for this. I had no idea, right? Because I wasn't in those trainings. I wasn't in those things on Saturday. And at that time, we didn't get on Zooms and talk about things. So I exceeded all the things that they said, and I didn't even know it. And so you might be doing the same thing, to where when you can just really tap into your own inner guidance, your own inner knowing, being your own hero, you're going to exceed your own expectations and the expectations of anybody else, because really the only one that you're wanting to compete against is you. We don't want to be looking at other people and saying, oh, they're doing this, I need to do this. Use your own guidance, right? And I know this sounds like I have just gotten so far away from everything, but that's okay, right? You forgive me. You'll forgive me. So let's get back to our affirmation. I am the one I've been waiting for. I am my own magic, my own hero, and I have everything I need within me. Just let that sink in. And then our journal prompt. As I claim my own heroship, how amazing does that feel? I'm telling you, all these little things that I've been sharing with you, in the moment when I was taking my own control and deciding what I wanted to do, what was good for me, I wasn't being egotistical. I wasn't being, what is it they say? Confidence is good, but when you're, hell, I don't remember. However, I was doing what fed my soul a little at a time and learning as I went. I claimed my own heroship. I decided to do what I needed to do to have the best life for me. List all the incredible emotions and changes you'll experience. Man, oh man, the emotions and the changes that I experienced as I was going through all of that. And I continue to have incredible changes and emotions today. Not about my weight so much, but about my life and my business and the people that I can surround myself with and the groups that I can be part of, and being part of this amazing community. Right? How amazing does it feel to me? Oh, I cannot even most of the time put it in words, because it exceeds the expectations that I ever had way back then. I never had any clue that I would get to be me right now. So list all the incredible emotions and changes you'll experience. And then note, as those things start happening in your life, come back and look at this often. What was it that you thought it would feel like? What was it you thought you would see, right? Because I tell people all the time, if you go out and you people watch, you can see the people that are confident. Oh, arrogant's the word. No, don't be arrogant. But confidence is amazing, right? But when you do people watching and you see people, you can tell the people that are having a good day. You can tell the people that love who they are. You can tell the people that feel like they're gods. You can tell the people that don't really like who they are. They don't like their life. You can see it in their expressions. You can see it in their body posture, their body language, right? So just imagine, as you become your own hero, because you are, and you tap into your own magic. You're your own hero. What type of posture do you have as a hero, right? Is it slumped shoulders? Hell no. Have you ever seen a hero that looks like that? No, you don't. When you're your own hero, you stand taller. You just have a different expression on your face. The energy, the vibration that you put out is totally different. And so, really, just dive into this today and write down everything that comes up. How would you feel? How would you look? How would you carry yourself? What would be your thoughts? Would you be worrying about what's going to happen later today? No. You would be confident that you have all the things within you to make everything happen. But I also remember all the opportunities, or some opportunities, show up as obstacles. So if you have an obstacle that you're facing, stand tall and say, baby, I got this. This is just to get me to the next place I need to be. So you've got all this. You are your own hero. You are the magic. You are the one. I claim this for myself today. I hope you do as well. Excuse me just a second. I feel a little bit of allergies. All right, so it's time for me to get off this live today, and I hope as you are here live, and anybody that watches the replay, put hashtag replay in the comments. And one of the things that does is it lets me know that you came here, and then play right along. If you've got a thought, put it in there. I go back and I look and see if you've got something to share or to say, or you have a question or anything, then I can support you even more by coming back and seeing that you were here and that you had something to say. And it makes my heart glad when I can go in and I can share with you. All right. So today, be your own hero, because remember, you are the one. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Mwah. Love you guys.